Good morning. Today I have a special treat for you. Miss Gail Mangum is one of the sweetest, most gentle women that I know, and just such a wonderful friend. She is, one of those surrogate mothers that I have in the church. Her and Mr. Dan have been apart for many, many years, and I know today you will be blessed by the scripture that she brings, and especially in the spirit that she brings it. So this morning, enjoy a word from Miss Gail Mangum.
Hi, my name is Gail Mangum, and I chose the topic of joy. Well, actually, my favorite verse is found in Luke chapter 2, verses 8 through 10. And it says, and in the same region there were shepherds out in the field watching over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were filled with great fear. And the angel said to them, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all of the people." Well, this verse means so much to me because the third candle of Advent reflects the joy that comes through Jesus' arrival and through the salvation he has gifted us. It is known as the shepherd candle to highlight the shepherd's experience when they received the good news about Jesus Christ's birth. During the middle of the night, in the darkest time, the shepherds encountered the angels. This is the type of joy that comes from God and God alone. Also, the joy in our hearts as we anticipate Jesus' second coming, when we will no longer have fears or trials. Well, actually, I can think of many times throughout my life wherein a lack of joy has impacted my life, but I will share the two most outstanding times with you briefly. The first time was way back in 1978 when I was pregnant with my first child, whom I had been praying for many, many years. Unfortunately, I lost my baby in the 24th week of my pregnancy. This became a very dark time in my life, and I found myself very angry with God and struggling with unanswered questions. The second was in 1983, when after 13 years of marriage, I found myself struggling through yet another dark time as I was in the midst of a divorce. Again, I became very angry with God and struggled with unanswered questions. But I came to understand that while we don't always know why things happen, we can still flood our hearts with joy, because regardless what happens in this dark world, we can always experience this gift that cannot be deterred by present circumstances. Well, again, I will take you back several years, this time to 1979, when I discovered that I was pregnant once again, and I prayed as hard as I could for a healthy baby. And God answered my prayers with a healthy son who was born on October 20th, 1979. Back then, I was Russian Orthodox, and it was our custom to have newborn babies baptized within a few weeks of birth. I remember that Thanksgiving was coming, and I could think of no other way to show my thankfulness and joy than to have my son baptized on Thanksgiving Day. And to this day, Thanksgiving will always be a day of true thankfulness and joy, and a day to remember all of the blessings that God has given to me, and a day to thank Him for never abandoning me and never giving up on me. And the second time was in the early 1990s. I had been divorced for 10 years and was praying that God would help me find a strong, loving, kind man with the same Christian values as mine, and that we would live happily ever after. Who would ever believe that I would find my Prince Charming, Dan Mangum, right here in Baltimore, Maryland, in a ballpark? And while I can share that we have a solid and strong marriage, it wasn't exactly the perfect fairy tale type marriage that I had envisioned. It required teamwork that involved a lot of love, a ton of patience, and a desire to allow God to be in the center of our marriage and to guide and protect us. And in the end, the Lord showed me that while life isn't always easy and that trials will come and go, it's how one allows God to help them through the trials by humbling yourself and seeking Him that will get you through the trial for your good and His glory. And that is how we grow in Him and become the person that He intends us to be. Happiness is not determined by our present circumstances because the joy of the Lord is our strength. So I made the decision to follow Jesus and to let Him fill my heart with joy and maintain that eager anticipation about wonderful things yet to come. And never to forget that joy is a gift from God, and we can have joy of the Lord in our hearts throughout any storm.